Hello friends and welcome back to Picture Astrology. In this video we will learn about the placement of Sun in the sign of Scorpio for a Taurus Ascendant horoscope. And when the Ascendant is Taurus, which is the second sign of the zodiac, Scorpio falls into the 7th house. So this video will be talking about Sun's effect when placed in the 7th house of a Taurus Ascendant horoscope. Now, this position assumes great significance for multiple reasons. First of all, Sun is an all-important planet which represents a person's soul. And by soul in Vedic astrology, the reference is towards the true personality. Sun also represents your physical self. It is the primary karka of it. And at the same time, from this placement of the 7th house, it has direct aspect on the ascendant, which is by far the most important reference point in analysis of horoscope. So this placement affects a person's physical life, physical self, his overall personality, his life in general, his mental attitude, because Sun aspects the 1st house. But above all, this placement has always been referred as a big concern when it comes to the 7th house affairs of marriage and partnerships, because Sun, being a natural malefic, has given rise to a lot of doubts regarding its effect on partnerships and marriage. So in next few minutes we are going to talk about effects of Sun on multiple areas of life, but we will specially focus on the marriage aspect and understand what exactly this placement means. So before we begin our analysis, let's quickly see in the horoscope of Taurus Ascendant what all houses that this one placement of Sun is going to impact. So firstly, Sun we know rules over the sign of Leo, which happens to be the 4th house. And 4th house shows your mother, landed properties, home, education, so many things. And this Sun, the Lord of 4th, is placed in the 7th house. So 7th house related areas will definitely be impacted, which will be our focus area also in this video, which is your marriage and professional success. And from the 7th house, Sun will have a direct aspect on the 1st house, so everything related to 1st house will have a say. And Sun himself as a planet represents higher authorities, government. So your relationship with higher authorities, your professional success, it depends on this placement of Sun. And for a quick reference, I have listed all these areas here. But as promised, let's begin with the 7th house and marriage related effects. And even in the 7th house related area of marriage, let's tackle the very first question which people have many times come and ask me about this placement. And that is a very worried question that, is this Sun, placement of Sun in the 7th house, really bad for marriage life? Is it fatal for marriage life? Many people have come and actually asked me. And the quick answer to this is a big no. Definitely not. This Sun here alone does not indicate any extreme trouble in marriage. Okay, it is in fact little bit good for marriage, and it can indicate at least 4 or 5 different things which we can easily deduct about your marriage life, and we will look at those 4 or 5 things which we can say with a lot of confidence. But one of those things is that it is this placement alone is definitely not a fatal combination for your marriage life. So if you have this combination, there is no need to be overtly worried just because this one Sun is here. Now let's see what does this Sun really indicate and why is it not fatal. See, first of all, Sun is lord of the sign Leo, which is the fourth house. And fourth house is a cardinal house or a Kendra house. And there is a big dictum which is taught in every astrological classics, and that is most of the times one of the first things which is taught, and that is Kendradhipati dosh, or blemish of the ownership of a cardinal house. And what basically means is, when a malefic planet, Sun is a natural malefic planet, so when a malefic planet owns a cardinal house, it loses its maleficence. So the malefic power of Sun is greatly reduced in the horoscope of a Taurus Ascendant because it owns a cardinal house. So that is one thing. Secondly, fourth house has many great qualities, and Lord of fourth house Sun in the seventh can bring all those great qualities in your married life. And which are those? So first of all, fourth house is the house of formal education. It shows your degree, and Sun itself represents your soul. It is the natural karaka of higher knowledge, true knowledge, knowledge about your own self. So one thing can be said with a lot of certainty when you have this combination, that your spouse will be a person who values education a lot. She herself could be very well educated and very well placed in life. What I mean by this is, she might be working in a good position. Her father as well as your father would also be a highly placed it could be government official or leading a big organization, or someone who is very well respected in society, someone who is well known. Fourth house lord Sun is something which you can never hide. So the lord of fourth house here shows that the spouse would be a person who would be also well recognized, and especially for her knowledge. Now Sun, as we saw, represents your relationship with authorities and professional success. So what happens is, many times, if given your 10th house is well placed and lord of 7th is well placed, which is Mars, then people attain a lot of professional success soon after marriage. So that's another thing which is very common when this with this Sun is placed in the 7th house. And that professional success could be due to partnership with either your spouse or with somebody who your spouse knows. And it could even mean, fourth house represents your properties or immovable property, land, houses, and so on. So this combination even means that the spouse can bring a lot of landed properties or connections along with her in your life, and that can greatly help you succeed in professional life for sure. So you see, there are many great combinations or many great results which this Sun brings as being lord of the fourth house in the 7th. So, and that can constitute to a visibly successful, socially successful married life, meaning spouse and you take part in a lot of social activities together. You are always present in gatherings as a couple together. So you are, socially very visible. The social bond of the marriage is very strong because of this placement of Sun. Now there are some issues which it can bring to married life also, and what are those? The biggest issue which can happen in your married life because of this Sun is because the Sun's tendency of extreme pride. So what this Sun really makes is, you yourself, the aspect of Sun on your ascendant and presence in the 7th house makes the native as well as the wife or spouse or husband or a partner full of self-esteem, a lot of self-pride, a lot of self-respect, which could easily be meant as pride or ego among them, and it could lead to ego clashes in the couple. They many times, each of them, each partner is too much proud of their own fathers or too much proud of their own families or their own upbringings or their own choices, and that ego problem leads to difficulties in the relationship. But obviously, other placement, or like the Lord of the 7th house, which is Mars, the primary karaka of the marriage, which is Venus, and at the same time Jupiter, because it symbolizes the bliss in your life. So if these are well placed, then this becomes a very minor thing in life. And as I said in the beginning, obviously this is not a fatal condition at all, and it does give a lot of desirable effects in the married life. So friends, this was a quick analysis of Sun in Scorpio for Taurus Ascendant, primarily focused on the marriage life. And as we talked in the beginning, it has many other implications in a person's life. It can affect your physical characteristics, your general outlook, your education, your mother, your 4th house related affairs like landed properties, vehicles, and so many other things. But we will talk about other aspects in the next part of the video. Thank you for watching so far. I hope you liked the video. Please do like and subscribe to my channel to continue to receive more videos like this. Thank you again for watching, and see you again soon.